Speaking of Disney music, what's going on with Disney Plus? I'm not familiar with this.
I'm gonna double segue this. Speaking of DJs picking your music because of choice paralysis and an overwhelming amount of choices, they are either rumored or confirmed that we're coming full circle and they're gonna add 24/7 streaming channels. So you can go to like a Marvel channel or a Star Wars channel or a Disney channel, and stuff would just be playing.
Okay.
'Cause remember when TV used to be the thing, and you'd be like, you know what? What's on? I just want to see what's on. Pick for me. And now you go to Netflix and you spend 2 hours trying to pick something, and then you turn it off because you're done, and
Yes.
that was your movie. So they're going to add streaming channels in there, which I am very much here for.
You like that?
Oh yeah, full circle.
I It makes a lot of sense for Disney, especially for kids. I like that. I just like what would are all streaming platforms going to adopt this, do you think? I mean, we
I don't
don't
know.
know, but I'm trying to
Comedy,
imagine.
comedy channel.
Yeah, you could do like Netflix could just have all of their like crime police shows or something.
Yeah.
Just mix it up between like Blue Bloods and CSI and crap like that. I guess, yeah.
So if you, have you ever used a non-official streaming service to watch television?
Yes.
Like Internet Protocol TV, I think is what it's called, IPTV, stuff like that.
I mean, I used to I essentially like torrent like Big Bang Theory and stuff like that, but
So this is more like you use a Fire Stick and you use a program that you like log into, and it
okay.
has like every live channel in the world, every on-demand movie, like all that kind of all encompassing.
I have not done that.
I did it for a while, and they also have like SpongeBob, and it's just you click it and it's just a 24/7 loop of
Yeah.
like random SpongeBob episodes, and they
There's
have it
YouTube
for like
channels like that, I think.
if, exactly. That's a great
Yeah.
example. So that, and it's cool because you're like, imagine going to SpongeBob if it's on, what's that on Paramount,
Yeah.
and if you aren't just starting at the beginning and watching through chronologically, how do you pick an episode
Yeah.
when there's 400 episodes?
I typically ask the person next to me pick a number between 1 and whatever 20 and then between 1 and whatever and then I just click on that. But
I like
I don't
that.
know. They could also just essentially have a button that says randomize or something or pick for me. No, I like this. It's smart. They've boxed out television almost to the point where they're like not necessary and people depend on these streaming apps and now they're just giving us another option to never leave. So I get it. I'm not
Really,
mad at it. I can see it being useful for kids. Yeah, like what if I guess they always start something automatically when it finishes, right? That's
oh, it
never an
does kind
issue
of pick
either.
something next.
Yeah.
I want to say Netflix added a like pick for me thing, but I've
They
never used
did.
it, and I'm not confident if they have that. They okay, they do. They do.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
No, this is cool. I'm into it.
And
I'm
it's
trying to
optional.
think of like a Star Wars a Star Wars version of it
Well,
or
how
sci-fi.
about like
Just sci-fi.
you're scrolling through channels and you're like, oh, this movie's on. I'll just watch from here. Like
Yeah.
that used to be a thing that we did. Rise of the Resistance was on TV recently, and like I didn't stop and watch it because I was doing other stuff, but it made me happy that I could have just here we go. I'm gonna jump in now
Yeah.
because I don't have to choose it.
I've never been that kind of person when like my dad's like that when he sees a movie on TV that he likes and he clicks on it, he'll first of all get mad at the commercials and he'll just go and like take it off the shelf if he has the DVD and pop it in and then just watch the whole thing and I'm just like, "Oh no, I'm not watching this then." Like I can't I can't be bothered.
To start over?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't usually like to start things from the middle, but
I also
I don't
don't
know.
like rewatching things that much.
Oh, that's an interesting topic. That's like a whole that's like a whole thing in of itself. Rewatching is a very interesting. I know I'm like getting way too excited about the thought of rewatching, but like, so you don't rewatch stuff. I
Not very much.
It's a very kid thing to do, right? Kids will find a movie and watch the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
For sure.
I go back and forth. I will get. I definitely have like comfy things that I like to put on, but I also don't like to feel like I'm missing something.
I really enjoy watching something new for the first time, even if I don't end up liking it, to the point where I don't even like watching something as much if I know the person I'm with has seen it. Because then I'm like, you're watching this again for me? Like, sucks. Like, I
I
wish we were
hate doing
both experiencing something new for the first time.
I only like to rewatch things that
Someone else
by
hasn't seen.
myself. No, by myself.
Oh, okay, okay.
And my reference point to that is this is weird, but like a Star Wars, if I just want to feel comfy, yeah, that's the word I'm using, I guess, yeah. It's a little bit like what kids do, right? It's
Yeah,
comfortable.
yeah,
Because I'm just a child. But yeah, I'll put Star Wars on. Honestly, I do that when I'm stressed. And because it's like harder to be more open to something
yeah,
new. But outside of that, like I will not rewatch. I'm like, oh, I do not want. I've already seen this. I don't want to watch this again.
yeah.
So it's
Y-
interesting.
this whole channel thing is interesting because I'm realizing we've kind of had this discussion before where, like, if we could only have one box that had like our favorite shows on it. We've talked about this on the podcast, like what would those shows be? And that was inspired by Casey Neistat has these screens in his office. One of them is always playing, I think it's The Godfather. It's always
Oh,
on. And there might be another one. He just always has these movies on a loop, and I like that. I like the idea of having, so if I could curate what this channel was, where like I put my
okay.
favorite movies into it if they had it, and I can just click it on, and then like my favorite movies are just there like quickly. It seems so weird because I could also just go click on that movie if I want to watch it. But like there's something about the excitement of clicking on the channel and not knowing where you're gonna land that's kind of exciting to me. Like I don't know why.
It like physicalizes it because when a movie's
Yes.
not on, does it even exist?
Right. But
It,
if it's
it like
always
makes it
going, yeah.
it like exists as a person,
Yeah.
which I kind of like about TV. Explaining that concept like to my grandparents, like my grandpa, I don't think ever understood it,
Yeah.
especially like once he was out of the house and like moved over to streaming from cable. Like I don't think he ever understood it,
Yeah.
and I still don't think my grandma understands that like the television is pixels without a brain.
Right.
Kind of they have brains now, and that
Yeah.
like the TV exists like in an imaginary place, and then you'd like plug it in.
Right.
Just that whole like concept is like hard to explain to them.
This is just the uh middleman to bring that out in space to us and to our eyes. Yeah.
Because it's like when we didn't have cable in our apartment, it's like how do you watch TV? What do you watch? It's like well, it's streaming. You just click and watch stuff, and it is there.
I don't think what I'm proposing though, like Netflix, I input 5 movies. I don't think they would ever do that though, because then like you're saying,
No,
it wouldn't be that taxing, but like it would have to be constantly scanning or like randomizing or whatever. Always have to know a point in a movie to jump to instead of just I click on it and then it calls that movie, you know? At least the TV is something they program and it's the same for everybody, not every single person has a curated channel or something. But I don't know, it's the future. Like maybe we can just have it do that and it doesn't matter and it doesn't blow up their system. I don't know.
it. What you just made me think of was airplanes. Airplanes they used to have a bunch of TVs all over the airplane, and it played a movie.
Yeah,
That was on all the TVs, and now they have 150 TVs all with something different running.
right.
And it, yeah, very much has to do with the server and the hardware capability. If you really wanted like a custom movie loop, you're just gonna have to get all the hard files and build that yourself.
I might do that someday, honestly. I'll never
Yeah, I
forget
think no,
that thing in Casey Neistat's office. Like I will always want that. So
I would have it. I would have a Friends channel
yeah.
with the show Friends going. The Office is a perfect example of that. It's just how people binge it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's cool. I like that.